Okay. All right. So, my dear sisters and brothers, Durga Mata is discussing and telling to Narad Muni in Devi Bhagavad. The Narad Muni means that inquisitive mind, inquisition. When you always want to know, you feel you want to know. That quality is called Narad Muni. It comes from the mind. Just a little mixture of the mind, and just before you reach the intellect, so you really cannot examine what is going on. You can think of it, you can get a little understanding of it, but you cannot really examine it. Oh yeah, I understand, but you really didn't grasp it. That is where Narad comes from, that energy called Narad, between the mind and the intelligence. So, Devi Durga is telling to Narad Muni that this 9 days of yajna is very important and how it should be done. But the most important thing she is saying is that the learned ones, I will choose my words carefully, the learned ones are so foolish that they create so many different types of rituals so that my children will get tied up into that because of non-learning. Because of non-learning means unable to understand and interpret the scriptures. And because of that also, they create many gatherings and many followers. And they create their own sect. And in turn, they create their own religion. Various religions to worship me. Divine Devi is saying, but they're so foolish because all I want is my children to come to me. And there are no conditions whatsoever. Just come to me. Just remain humble. Do not play big. Do not think that I am doing this, I am doing that. Just come as a child to me. Divine Devi is telling to Narad Muni. Beautiful conversation. That conversation is, I told you, it's a dangerous conversation for discussion of. That could bring an end to many, many religions in Hinduism. You know, Hinduism is not a religion. It is a collection of many different type of modes of worship. And not only worship, of living actually. So Divine Devi is telling to Narad Muni, okay, so this is the case. And this yajna was first done. It was first done when I explained it to Vishnu Bhagwan. When he was a baby. You remember I read that katha when he was in the cradle. So all of these things she was explaining to him. And he started to remember from previous manvantaras to the present one that he was in at that time. And he performed the first one, and then she started to describe that Sri Ramachandra Bhagwan, he had to perform this yajna, or this observation of this Navratra, for the sake of going to find Sita Maya. You know this from Katha. Shri Krishna Bhagwan had to perform it, this yajna also, when he took that feather out of his crown. There was a time when he took, remember last night I told you what that feather was, Durga Devi. He removed it from his crown. And also, Radharani was manifested in the little piece of bamboo, flute. He broke that flute. And he forgot everything. Everything he had forgotten. He never performed a miracle after that. He lived as a human being after that, but then he started to have problems with his family. Imagine 8 queens, that type of problem. So he went to Lord Shiva, Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. It is there in Devi Bhagwan. Shiv Shankar Bhagwan, and he instructed them, okay, go and observe this vrat, and perform the puja or the sacrifice to the divine mother of the universe, Chandika. And when he did that, then that's a long katha again. Many things happened there. So Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan is performing in Devi Bhagavat, and also in Kritivasa Ramayana you will find it. Kritivasa Ramayana is written in Bengali. But there is an English version. You can read the English. I cannot read Bengali. I can read English, I could read Sanskrit, Hindi, the Gujarati, I can make out some of the words, the numbers in them, because through negation, if this is 7 and that is 8, then it have to be 9. You know, like that. I can read Urdu, but I cannot read Bengali. But the English is there, you get the sweetness from it. And in Kritivasa Ramayana, which supports the Devi Bhagavad, Devi Bhagavad does not need support actually because it's the voice of the Devi, the words of Devi. She's saying how Sri Ram, when Sri Ram, he realized that Sita Devi is in Lanka and he had to go to fight Ravana to bring back Sita Devi. In Devi Bhagavad, he told to Hanumanji, "Oh Hanumanji, go and get for me under the advice of Shiv Shankar Bhagwan. Go and get 1,000 blue lotus flower for me. For I will offer this to the Devi and I will perform her puja and then she will ensure that success will come my way." Hanumanji, he went. He brought back the flowers, but it so happened, you might find a little variation to this in Shiv Puran, that he did Shiv Shankar, Rameshwar Puja he did. But in Devi Bhagavad, he worshipped the Devi. One flower was missing, so how much do we have? 999.